Croeso bawb. My name is Becky Loughead and I'm the librarian here at the Society of Antiquaries of London, based in Burlington House in Piccadilly. It's fantastic to be invited to this Explore Your Archives event for architecture, and I do apologise that there will be some overlap with our talk on archaeology yesterday, but we do have very strong holdings in architecture as well, so I hope you'll bear with me and I hope you'll enjoy hearing about a different set of special collections for today. Now, just by way of background to the Society is the oldest independent learned society solely concerned with the study of the material past. We are a registered charity. We promote understanding of the human past. We recognise distinction in the field through election to the fellowship, and fellows are awarded the postnominals FSA. Today, the Society has around 3,000 fellows, and they include many distinguished architectural historians, art historians, and archaeologists. And all of the images used in my presentation today, including portraits, paintings, objects, archives, and prints and drawings, they're all part of our collections here at Burlington House. And I'll be showing you later some of our catalogues and finding aids and what you can view online.
So, just by way of background to the origins of the Society began with an informal meeting of three friends in a London tavern in 1707, one of whom was the librarian and Old English scholar, Humphrey Wanley. Those who were interested in the evidence for the past, both physical and documentary, were known as Antiquaries. In 1717, the Society was formally established with 23 members, including William Stukely, the Society's first secretary, and a pioneer of archaeological investigations into prehistoric monuments, including Stonehenge and Avebury. In 1751, the Society was granted a royal charter and took on its present form. It continued to meet in various taverns and coffee houses until moving into Somerset House, owned by the government, in 1781, along with the Royal Society, the Royal Academy, and the other learned societies. You may know Somerset House today as the site of the Courtauld Gallery. In the mid-19th century, the government needed Somerset House as a premises for civil servants, so the learned societies were offered alternative accommodation in the new Burlington House, Piccadilly, which we moved to in 1875. The buildings were purpose-built to each society's specifications, and, having the largest library collection, we ended up with the grandest library. As you can see here, our main library has 3 levels. Our library at Burlington House is the largest antiquarian library in the country, with an outstanding collection amassed over 300 years. It incorporates both purchases made for its fellowship and donations and bequests by fellows. As a result, it reflects the diverse interests of many different collectors. Our particular focus today is the history of material culture of the British Isles, covering archaeology, architectural history, art history and the decorative arts, heraldry, and British local history. Here we have just a snapshot of our holdings. Some of our special collections include a number of illuminated medieval manuscripts, the Winchester Domesday Book, 3 copies of the Magna Carta, and the inventory of Henry VIII. Our printed library collection spans the late 15th century to the present day, with over 50 incunables and some 2,000 printed broadsides and proclamations, some of which only survive in our library collection. We also have a large number of museum objects, including paintings, such as this early 17th century panel painting of Old St. Paul's. We also have a large number of prints and drawings and photographs. We also hold the archives of several other societies on deposit, such as the Dilettante Society, the Roxburgh Club, and the Royal Archaeological Institute. The RAI and around 60 other history societies and organisations use our premises at Burlington House to host their meetings and their lectures. I'm now going to show you a few of our special collections relating to architecture. On the top right and the middle left are shown some items from the Wilson collection. Edward James Wilson worked with his father, a carpenter and joiner of Lincoln Cathedral. He later qualified as an architect and as county surveyor restored Lincoln Castle and many Lincolnshire churches. He wrote the text for Pugin's drawings in Specimens of Gothic Architecture and Pugin's Examples of Gothic Architecture, and he collaborated with John Britton in a series of topographical publications. Our Wilson collection includes a series of some 20 volumes, as well as drawings, plans, and engravings. The plans and drawings pictured below this are from our Incorporated Church Building Society collection. The ICBS was founded in 1818 for the building and restoration of churches throughout England and Wales. The bulk of the collection, over 16,000 items, is held at Lambeth Palace Library in London, but in the 19th century, the Society was donated some 740 church plans. These have all been digitised and can be viewed for free via Lambeth Palace Library's online image database. Here we have another few distinct collections relevant to architecture. Again, a mixture of notebooks, papers, tracings and drawings given to us by former fellows who were architects or had strong interests in the history of architecture. The images here of the Nevinson papers at the bottom include a folder on Wales, and there are some lovely watercolours of Welsh churches and castles in this collection. The Society's largest single bequest in its history is that of fellow Arthur Aspretall, who was Vice President of the Royal Institution of British Architects. It includes some of the earliest printed books the Society owns and 14 manuscript items, 2 of which are pictured here. On the top and the right is quite a charming little handwritten 18th century pocket companion for an architectural surveyor, with various useful measurements and tables included. On the bottom left is an annotated work by the antiquary and draftsman Francis Grose, with many notes on church architecture. Aspretall's bequest also included some outstanding works by Piranesi in these tremendous folio volumes of Roman architecture. You can see here that the foldouts are so large, they are actually bigger than the tables we have in the library. Piranesi was renowned for his technical drawings and precise observational skills, and he was elected an honorary fellow of the Society in 1757. If you're interested in classical architecture, then these truly are just fabulous volumes to have a look through, full of amazing individual details, as well as views of Roman buildings, monuments, and city views. As mentioned earlier, we have over 20,000 prints and drawings in our collection, and many are an incredible resource for architectural research, particularly as they prove an invaluable record of buildings and monuments that may have since deteriorated or been demolished. One of our special collections shown here is the Harley collection, purchased by the Society following the death of Edward Harley, and I'm sure that name will be familiar to many of you, as his immense collection of medieval manuscripts is now held in the British Library, their Harleian collection. The Harley volumes of the Society show the type of material that collectors and antiquaries were interested in the early 18th century, from coins to monuments to houses, crosses and curiosities. 3 volumes are devoted to London, others are devoted to Greek and Roman antiquities, monuments and English antiquities, charters, seals and coins, Oxford and Cambridge and gentlemen's seats, and county views. There is topographical information for all parts of the country, but with a particular importance for Welbeck and the Harley seat in Nottinghamshire. There's quite a variety of buildings and views, both drawings and engravings, and here you can see ground plans of castles, a ruined monument, a 1680s drawing of Salisbury Cathedral, and even a lighthouse. Another distinct collection of prints and drawings, similar to the Harley collection, is the collection of Lord Coleraine, bequeathed to the Society. It comprises of 7 bound volumes of mountain engravings and some drawings of the topography of the British Isles. And again, we have images of various different buildings, including castles from Monmouthshire pictured here on the right, along with church plans, some architectural details, and many landscape views and prospects of country houses and estates. As well as prints and drawings, we have many photographic images in our collection too. I just wanted to draw your attention to this one in particular. It's a set of photographs from France, particularly of castles, taken by T.E. Lawrence when he was a student, and Lawrence, as it happens, was born in Wales. Lawrence was very interested in antiquities and especially medieval architecture, and whilst at Oxford he wrote his thesis on how the Crusades influenced European military architecture. A couple of years ago, one of our fellows organised and catalogued this collection, presented a paper on the photographs at a Society meeting, and you can read about this on our blog on our website, and you can watch the recording of the lecture on our YouTube channel. Since its foundation, the Society employed its own engravers. The 2 big names here are George Virtue and James Bezier and his successors, as well as Bezier's apprentice William Blake, who produced high-quality, detailed copperplate engravings for our large folio publication called Vetusta Monumenta, and Blake in particular worked on engravings of Westminster Abbey. This series of illustrated papers, Ancient Monuments, is an incredibly important visual record of subjects of antiquarian interests, including many views of historic buildings and monuments. The first 3 volumes of Vetusta Monumenta are currently being produced as a free online edition with commentary by leading academics, so I definitely recommend having a look through the site if you're interested in historical architecture. Our published resources reproduce much of our archival material, including the contents of the minute books and many of our drawings. The printed journals, Archaeologia, the Proceedings, and the Antiquaries Journal are digitised and available via subscription to Cambridge Core, so you may have online access to these through your university or library. Others, like Vetusta and the Society's Research Report Series and our online public newsletter, are available for free, and you can sign up to SAL, our fortnightly newsletter, via our website. As a librarian rather than an archivist, I just want to quickly draw your attention to our modern printed library collection. As well as a huge collection of antiquarian books, we also actively collect material relating to historical architecture, particularly medieval. We do also hold a number of journals relating to architectural history and various research groups around churches and military architecture, for example. And pictured here are just a few of our recent acquisitions relating to architecture. So, how can you find out what we have? Well, the best starting point is our list of online catalogues, where you can search for manuscripts, printed library collections, some of our prints and drawings, and museum objects. And you can view all of our paintings online at Art UK. We are working hard to digitise more and more material at the moment and catalogue more of the internal archive. But until everything is searchable, do feel welcome to contact us with any research queries. And just to mention, you can also find our printed holdings on Disc Library Hub, formerly known as Copac.
Finally, I just want to draw attention to the Society's YouTube channel, and you can catch up with all of our past events, talks, lectures and conferences that are all available online for free, recordings by experts in the field here at Burlington House. So I hope you'll enjoy having a look through some of our past lectures on YouTube. You can find out more about our upcoming events on our website. All events are now live streamed. It's free to book, and you can watch them on Zoom or you can watch them on YouTube. You can also find out about our collection highlights from our lovely library collection with some fantastic images of our special collections online. So I hope you'll have a look at our special collections too. And of course, you can contact us, library@sal.org.uk. Please do send us any research inquiries. I hope we'll be able to help you with your architectural research. So diolch yn fawr iawn. Thank you very much for listening.